Morning, everyone. Sorry again that I'm out. I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday, but if you do need anything, reach out about Wednesday. You can either sign up for in-person or send me an email, and I'm happy to hop on a Google Meet. With that said, as you're kind of warm up for the day, you should have been finding an equation that goes through a couple points. So in that first case, you would have seen -4, 9, and 0, 2. So the first thing would be just think about slope. This one's nice enough where you could count it out if you wanted to, or just remember we're looking change in y, change in x. So to go from 9 to 2, that would be -7, and then put that in the numerator if it's helpful. And then from -4 to 0, that goes up 4, so that would be +4. Right there, you've got your slope. Now, the thing for today is I want you to get used to kind of deciding what format is better and when is it better. And in this case, if you notice, and I can label them if it's helpful, remember you have your x and your y-axis. And so in this case, I can see my y-axis and I can see exactly where it crosses the y-axis, which is at 2. And so for me, I think the easiest format in this case would just be to throw it in slope-intercept because I already know the y-intercept is at 2, and now I'm done. And sure enough, you can see it goes through both those points. There's nothing wrong with the other format, point slope. It's just in this case, it's not quite as fast. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just a little bit of extra typing. So point slope, that could have been one format. Or if I copy over, could have had y -9 and x +4. Just remember that double negative is happening, and that's where my +4 is coming from. All right, so once again, for me personally, once I can see that there's a y-intercept, I think slope-intercept is easiest, but that's totally a personal decision. All right, going on to the other case, when you had -4, -3, and 5, -2, slope-intercept in this case actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I can't see what my y-intercept is. I might be able to guess at it, but I definitely can't see exactly what it is. So in a case like this, I'm still going to find my slope. What's the difference from -3 to -2? It turns out that's going up 1. And then from -4 to 5, it's going over 9. So my slope would be 1 over 9. But because I don't know my y-intercept, I'm going to use one of the points. In this case, I'll use 5, -2 to start. That's going to be y minus a -2, which for me, I'm going to simplify to a +2. My slope I already know, and now I'm going to put in x minus 5, and there we have it. Or I could have done the same exact thing, but with y +3 because it's a double negative, and x +4 because that's a double negative. Now that I have the line, I can look, I can click, and I can see, oh, it's a kind of annoying decimal. And so if you really wanted to, now you could go back and say 1 over 9 x this minus 2 point. And there you go. You're going to get that line. But because that one was so annoying, I would definitely refer to point slope rather than slope intercept. Cool. With that in mind, let's kind of take a look at what I'm going to ask you to do today. So when you go into your assignment in Google Classroom, feel free to pause this while you open it or listen to it first and then go to your assignment. Totally up to you. When you first get in, make sure you're reading really closely. In the first couple problems, I want you to throw it into slope-intercept form. And then problem 3 is asking you to do some error analysis. Did I make a mistake or am I good to go? Once you go on from there, I have already pre-graphed them for you. So if you throw in your equations, like for example, let's say you said red was y equals, I don't know, -4 over 2 x plus 3. Clearly, that's not the right equation for this red line because it doesn't match up at all. So this is just an equation check for you. That way you don't have to wonder if your equation's right. You can know right away. All right. Going on from there, if you did any work on paper you want to show me, feel free to snap a photo and upload it by clicking the plus and adding an image. All right, these are where you're going to have to do some choice making. Right here, I'm giving you some points, but I'm saying you can decide the format. I don't care, but just kind of give me a brief, like, you know, 1 sentence or half a sentence explanation of why you chose what you did. Because I think as you're looking through the points, you're going to notice something showing up. And once again, the next slide has a blank where you can throw in some points and check. That purple line's hanging out there because if you look at problem 7 is asking you to look for the purple line equation. And so you'd want to make sure it overlaps for just problem 7. Otherwise, the other ones, you're actually going to have to plot the points first. All right. And now finally, problem 8, I'm kind of throwing, I don't know, some basic ideas out. In this case, you're going to be asked to write an equation. Don't care what format it's in, but I've given you some partially filled out tables that I think would be helpful to finish. And then once you've done that, I'm asking you for some reasoning problems. So the next step we're going to take, and we'll talk in more detail on Thursday when I see you again, but interpretation is going to be a big part of linear equations. When you're writing an equation for a very specific problem, I want you to actually understand what the implications are. So not just where do they intersect, but what does that intersection mean if you go to the left or right of it? And so I'll be curious to kind of see what explanations you come up with, and we'll definitely be talking more about it. My goal is hopefully I get back before the end of the day from the meet today, and then I'll throw in some feedback and I'll let you know when I've done that. So part of your remote assignment tomorrow will just be to read my feedback and then, you know, revise things as necessary. Obviously, if you're missing anything from earlier in the semester, go back to Google Classroom, complete it, and once again, let me know if you have questions. Cool. I hope you all have a great day.